All right, so we got the Sucker Punch devs coming out and pretty much denouncing everything that the developer that they fired did. Now, we don't know if they're doing this because they have to do this or they're doing this because they truly believe this, but it sparked a lot of conversation online about the Ghost of Yotay. Remember, Ghost of Yotay is a couple of weeks away. You know what I'm saying? Now, we won't be playing it, but you know, whatever. One, because I don't have a PS5 and I won't be getting a PS5. You see these prices going up. But two, it's not the ghost game that I wanted. But anyway, before we get into all the shenanigans, guys, we're back monetized again. So thank you to those who have sent in super thanks and things like that. We will be doing a celebration stream. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 18,400 by next Tuesday. So make sure you do that. Help your boy out. All right. So yeah, Sucker Punch co-founder says celebrating or making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us. And so obviously people from this side of the fence have been saying good, that was the way to go. Now there are others like Kata is saying, and shit, I forgot. Let me get my light going. Griff. There we go. All right, so you got others like Kata and company who are saying that they should have said this from day one, maybe. But I mean, when it comes to a company, when you work for a studio like Sucker Punch that works for a publisher like Sony, maybe you have to go through the proper channels. I don't know. I'm not saying that they didn't want to say this. I don't even know if they really mean what it is that they're saying here. Let's go ahead and get a gobble out of this Kotaku article. It says, for the last week, a war has been waging in the YouTube comments for each new Ghost of Yotay trailer as the PlayStation 5 exclusive nears its release date nearly next month. That's because the developer at Sucker Punch Productions joked about the assassination of Charlie Kirk on social media. Sony confirmed it had parted ways with the employee following a right-wing pressure campaign, but declined to issue any further statement. Now, studio head and co-founder Brian Fleming has commented on the firing directly in a new interview. Sucker Punch artist Drew Harrison, nearly 10-year-old veteran of the studio, posted, "I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back on the day of the assassination took place." Less than 24 hours later, she confirmed she'd been fired. Drew Harrison is no longer an employee of Sucker Punch Productions, a spokesperson for Sony told Kotaku at the time. All right, the facts are accurate. Fleming told Stephen Tolio's Game File when asked about the situation. Drew's no longer an employee here. I think we're aligned as a studio that celebrating or making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us, and we condemn that. Kind of in no uncertain terms, there's that's sort of our studio, and that's kind of where we are. Where I don't agree with that. Now, if you can look at here, Kotaku posted this picture right here of people in the comments saying rest in peace Charlie Kirk, rest in peace Jin Sakai, and everything like that. And so with this being said, shout out to Kotaku for actually doing some journalism for once. Ethan Gotch. This has sparked a lot of conversation online about whether or not now the chuds should now want to play the game. And the answer is no, because that was never the reason why we weren't going to play the game in the first place. So this guy, King Gamer, says, there you go. Sucker Punch higher-ups have done an interview and made a statement, but I bet that still isn't enough and not going to stop some people. I don't know why that would have stopped anyone, okay? I need to reiterate. The reason why we wasn't playing this game had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. The Charlie Kirk situation was just abhorrent. It doesn't matter what industry, what project you're working on, that's abhorrent, okay? The reason why we're not playing Ghost of Yotay is because not only are we not getting Jin Sakai, the character that we already fell in love with, knew, and thought was going to be in the sequel, but we know why it is that you went with Atsu, okay? You didn't go with Atsu because that's what the plan was. You didn't go with Atsu, the female character, because that's what your creative juices told you to do. No, you went with Atsu because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The idea that we needed more female representation in video game culture. That's what you wanted. Not only did you want to do that, but you went and got a queer woman to be the voice actor for Atsu, right? And then we get online, and when that's revealed, we already see that all of us are blocked by this woman before we even got a word out. Now, she's well within her prerogative to do that. All I'm saying is, this game was a prime for a roasting. It was prime for it. Okay? You only did what you did for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what that tells us, it tells us a lot about the people who work at the studio, which is why some are second guessing whether or not the studio head actually means what he's saying. Or it could be, which I lean more of, I lean more on, the studio head probably believes it, his employees probably don't. That's what I believe. I believe there are certain people working in the video game industry that are doing what they need to do to survive the video game industry. There are the woke freak shows, and then there are people that are pretending to be woke freak shows so they can keep their jobs. There's also people who are not woke freak shows in any sort of way at all, but they gotta hide their politics and they gotta, do what they gotta do because they hired these woke freak shows and they can't dodge them. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I do want to talk about though is whether or not this boycott would even work. Let's keep it a bean. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to grift. I'm not going to do anything. I'm telling y'all what I'm telling y'all because this is what I believe I know. Ghost of Yotay will have a similar budget to Ghost of Tsushima, which was only $60 million. In comparison, other PlayStation first-party game budgets have well exceeded the $200 and even $400 million mark. Do you think Yotay will live up to Tsushima? Here's the thing. Boycott or not, that game will not lose. If this is to be believed, that the budget is going to be similar to the first one, which was only $60 million, there's just no way this game loses. It's no way. Even if by some, disaster, it only sells 500,000 copies on PlayStation. Motherfucker, that's still $30 million. And they're going to do a PC release. So if they don't make it in the first year, they'll damn sure make it on the second. But listen, guys, this game sold, what was it? Was it 3.5 million in the first week? Ghost of Tsushima did? I've already done the math. 1 million copies sold, and this is a $70 game, $70 million, guys. Obviously you got to pay retailers, storefronts. Obviously you got, different taxes and stuff like that. But that's just 1 million. I'm just saying. I'm thinking this game is probably going to sell at least in the first year 4 or 5 million. Then when it releases on PC, I surely believe that's going to swell up to about 8, 9, 10 million. I'm just keeping it a bean. I'm just keeping it a bean with y'all because I don't want to lie to y'all. It's never my intention to lie to y'all, but I'm just telling y'all what I think is going to happen. I know a lot of people feel like I feel like this game could have done maybe 20 million if PlayStation 5s wasn't so expensive. If without all of the drama, if it had been Jin Sakai, this game could have done 20 million. I don't think it's going to do 20 million. Maybe it'll do 20 million in the long run, maybe 5 years from now. But see, what people wanted was Jin Sakai. You mean to tell me that this guy on the screen right here, that ushered in a brand new IP, getting a movie made about him, you mean to tell me you wanted to replace him? Stop it. I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it for a second. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the grip video. I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.